Before we jump into that, Ethan, we do have a couple little tidbits of Spurs news that we want to get into. So the first one is obviously the biggest news here. Dylan Harper, this was last week, last Wednesday specifically. Shams Charania reported that Dylan Harper underwent surgery on his left thumb to repair a partially torn collateral ligament. He suffered the injury during a workout. He could still play in the season opener against Dallas on October 22nd, but that is not official as of right now. The team will continue to update Harper's condition as appropriate. And I believe there's another line at the end here. Oh, it's just his summer league stats. So Dylan Harper averaged 16 in summer league, if you didn't know. But Ethan, obviously not the most major thing, a very minor injury. But what was your reaction to the news?
Slight disappointment, right? Like you want him there for that opening night for sure. He's our second overall pick, a guy that most people think will eventually be the co-captain with Victor when we're making championship runs. But like you said, not super serious. So at the end of the day, not like it doesn't damn the season necessarily.
Not at all. But I was thinking about this, Ethan, and I was like, what is the basketball impact that we could talk about here? And that would be if we don't see him for, let's just say, for the sake of conversation, Ethan, let's just say he's out the first week or two of the season. Let's pull up the roster here, shall we? Which last time that we pulled this up, I think that was before we had the Stanley Amude signing updated down there. Obviously, Adam Flagler, Stanley Amude, and Micah Potter probably not going to be on the team come the regular season, but still, we got everybody from two-way to training camp guys on the roster here, Ethan. In the event, as you have the lineups in front of your face, or at least the lineups that we think are going to be the case for the season in front of your face, in the event that, again, Dylan Harper is not playing in those first 2 weeks, what would be, well, it's a two-part question for you. One, what would be your preferred lineup? And then two, what do you think the Spurs are going to do?
My preferred lineup would be just to move Stefan Castle back to the 6-man spot, let him be the backup point guard, and slide Julian Champagnie into the starting lineup amongst the other 4 guys that were already there, and then continue to let Devin Vassell play off the bench next to Stefan Castle. Now, what will probably happen is Devin Vassell gets moved up to the starting lineup, and Stefan probably does get dropped to the bench. That would be my prediction, Jude.
Wait, okay, so when I first heard what you were saying there, I thought you were saying to drop Steph to the bench.
Yes.
Okay, so what's the difference between what you think is going to happen?
Devin versus Julian.
Oh,
I
okay,
would rather have
see.
Julian start for a week or two because he's a perfect plug-and-play guy, and then let Devin continue to build his true role, which I hope is off the bench. But I think the Spurs would probably just elevate him to the starting lineup.
Totally hear you there. When you said that, I just assumed that you meant Julian Champagnie would, be in the backup backcourt with him and Steph. So that's why I was kind of asking between the difference there. But I hadn't thought about that. I was just automatically thinking, Steph onto the bench, elevate Julian, and then move Devin into the starting lineup. But when you think about last year and just bluntly, as much as we love Devin and, we still harp on feeling like he has untapped potential. If we're just being real with the sample size we saw at the beginning of last year with Julian, and as well as just consistency on catch and shoot 3-point shooting, I think you can make an argument that Julian plays that role better as of right now. Obviously, there's some ball handling things and other things that you could point to with Devin where he has an edge on Julian, but I hadn't really thought about that, and I can see why that's your appeal.
Yeah, that's just my personal preference. Now, is more than likely going to happen, Jude, is our lineup will probably be wrong because Devin will likely be starting because that's just how the Spurs roll. But my preference is that he come off the bench no matter what.
Mando says, nah, Devin is being paid too high to be on the bench, which I do feel where he's coming from. But also, if I'm just giving my own personal basketball opinion, I am with you there.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
But yeah, to go with my predictions for that or how that potential impact could happen, I do want to mention this. There could be a world, Ethan, where we just elevate Jordan McLaughlin. Like, I know I know that sounds super simple, but we forget like he is a guy who played backup rotation minutes like in a playoff series for Minnesota. So that could be something that could happen. I think a 9-man rotation could potentially be very possible as well. And heck, you never know, Ethan, with Kelly Olynyk, we've seen him take the ball up the floor a little bit. You even could just keep the same starting lineup elevate Julian to kind of the backup shooting guard position, and then you just kind of have a hodgepodge of Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, and Kelly Olynyk as ball handlers for the first 2 weeks of the season. Now, that's not necessarily what I would want to do, but again, Ethan, the theme here with all these roster moves we made over the offseason, we have options now in the event of this.
For sure. A lot of versatility. And rotationally, they'll probably stagger De'Aaron and Stephon, even if they do start next to each other. So more than likely, one of them will be on the court at all times, no matter who's in the starting lineup and who's not.
Yeah, for sure, my guy.